We'd like to go back to your early days and growing up. First off, do you have an earliest memory growing up, or what's one of your early memories?
Wow. My very earliest memory would be my grandmother making me this unbelievable milk soup with sugar and cinnamon. That is what I remember, yeah. My earliest memory, I think.
So a warm and comforting, pleasant sort of being
super.
From what I
super
understand,
protective. Yeah.
And your mother, I mean, you seem like you're very, very adored by your mum too.
Yeah, and I love my mum. She is absolutely an incredible woman. You know, my father was an alcoholic, and he used to beat my mother and myself. And you know, when she got separated, when I was just 6.5 years old, she had to work 3 jobs to get us through, and you know, she has done really an exceptional job in giving me an education and you know, making it all happen for me.
What lessons do you think that she taught you that you would like to teach your children?
Well, be good to, you know, other people. She taught me about karma. You know, what you do to others will happen to you, and I believe in that, you know, and I try to be the best I can.
What were you like at school? Which kid were you? I think you might have been a bit of a joker.
Yeah, I was a total joker. I mean, I was bored with school. Yeah. It didn't give me what I was looking for. You know, I felt that 90% of what they were teaching there was boring and didn't interest me. So I spent my time being a class clown.
At what point did you realize that you were destined for a very different life to what other people lived?
When I got my first computer. You know, I was 12 years old, got a Commodore C64.
I remember the Commodore 64.
Yeah. You know, it was the cassette tape.
Yeah.
So I got that, and it got me totally hooked. My brain was in a different mode, and all of a sudden I found what I wanted to do.
Did the computer change the way you thought when you said my brain was in a different mode?
Yeah, it changed everything. Before I had my computer, I was in sports. You know, I was playing basketball, I was table tennis, badminton, everything. I had a six-pack, you know, and...
we all used to have a six-pack.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, the computer changed all that. But, you know, the most interesting thing for me was this whole new world that opened up, you know, where all of a sudden you are in a different mindset, and, you know, there are no limits to what you can do with a computer.
There was something that happened, I believe, fairly early on, where, and you'd started making money. The German government gave you $1 million to set up a business to combat hacking after you were convicted of hacking.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, it's one of these horrible crimes that keep being quoted everywhere, that I'm, you know, a criminal, I'm a convicted criminal. What it actually was is when I was a teenager, I became a hacker. You know, once I had a modem and I could connect to other computers, this incredible hunger for knowledge just took over. And for example, I hacked NASA because I wanted to find out if there are really aliens out there.
What did you find?
Nothing. There is no proof of evidence, and believe me, I've been in all the servers. There was nothing there. And I hacked Citibank because I had this funny idea to send $20 million to Greenpeace. It didn't actually happen, but that was my intention. And at one point, I hacked the German...
Did you ever say that happened? Because
no,
it's been reported that you have.
Yeah, and that's wrong, because what I've always said is I wanted to do it, not that I did do it. And, you know, that's funny. Sometimes the media gets things wrong and puts them a little bit differently. Now, then I was hacking the German credit rating system, you know, and I set the credit rating of our German prime minister to 0 simply because I didn't like the guy so much at the time. And then I got busted because...
Kim, I've read stuff on the internet that says you can't actually hack the credit rating system to 0. There's this sort of whole list of Kim.com myths, etc.
No, that's absolutely true. You can. And the judge has even confirmed that in his ruling. So the evidence was presented in my court case.
Was this the hacking court case?
Yeah, okay. Of course. No, that was part of the case. And the judge in the end said, well, that was really youthful foolishness. Why don't you use your skills to turn it into a business and help companies and the government to make their networks more secure. And that's when I started my first business, Data Protect, and I went to my German government and I said, hey, I've just been convicted for hacking, but you know, I have this really great idea of making networks more secure and creating firewalls and things like that. And then the German government gave me $1 million That was the start to my business career.
How old were you at this point?
21.
Right.
What did you do with the mill?
Well, I invested it into the right equipment. I hired staff. Within a year, I had 50 staff. And in the second year, I was already able to pay back the entire loan. And it was a 20-year loan, no interest, so I could have waited forever to pay that back. But I was so grateful that the German government did that for me that I paid it back right away.
Back to the present, one of the things the Internet Party have discussed is the disinterest in politics of young voters. Statistically, at the last election, only 58% of 18 to 24-year-olds actually voted, compared with 95% of over 65s. Why do you think that is?
Well, there isn't really any party that caters to the youth, you know. If you look at it, we were the first party that came out with a phone app where people could sign up to become members online. I mean, everyone else would do it through paper. How outdated is that, you know? Actually, we should be voting online already for a long time, you know, to get all these young people engaged in politics and have them participate in democracy.
Is it possible to have a party for, quote-unquote, the youth?
No, absolutely.
Shouldn't parties just appeal to a wide spectrum, not just particular age groups?
Well, the Greens are catering to people who love the environment, right?
You should have started a baby boomer party. There's tons of them.
Yeah, we're the internet party, you know. So the internet is about the internet generation. It's about people who, grew up with it, who love it, who appreciate it, and who understand the qualities of the internet and that it is under threat today. So the internet party is kind of taking care of that.